It's been a while since I did a video like this where one fabulous project meets another fabulous project and the fabulous representatives from those projects talk to each other about those fabulous projects.
NordVPN is becoming more than just a VPN. Threat protection will guard your device against malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads, even if you're not connected to a VPN server at the time. Step up your cybersecurity and stay safe.
Got crypto? Got a hardware wallet to keep your crypto safe? Then you have to have one of these to keep your seed phrase safe. The KEYSTONE tablet is fireproof, waterproof. You can use it to store 12-word, 18-word, 15-word, 24-word seed phrases. Get one, get two, get three, have multiple copies. Use my affiliate link in the description below. Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. And I am so delighted and thrilled to have with me Dan Weinberger. He is the CEO of Morpheus.network. It's about bloody time he came back on my channel. I'm also thrilled to have Skrillah, who is one of the team at Secret Agents, which is a community project that supports the Secret Network. And Skrillah and Dan are going to be talking to each other about their respective projects. Now, before I introduce them, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT. And if you're watching this on YouTube, come over and support me on bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey. Support my work on a censorship-resistant platform. I post more material there than I do on YouTube, and it's just an email sign-up, no KYC, no cost, nothing like that, okay? All right, here we go. Dan.
Hey.
Dan. Hello, Dan.
Crypto Rich, how are you, sir? Great to see you.
Very well. I'm very well. And in the intervening period since you've been here, I have had a few approaches from the community. When are you going to have Dan back on?
I've had the same. When are you going back on Crypto Rich? Maybe it's the same people going to both of us, seeing if it worked out. But it worked. Regardless, that worked. So
that's right. I get my cousins to approach you.
Love your family. All good.
All right. Well, it's great to have you. You are the CEO of Morpheus.network. And Skrillah, like I said, you're one of the team at Secret Agents. And I've covered videos with both of you. And this really is an opportunity for each of you to discover about the other. Because what happened was I met with Skrillah a few weeks ago and I was telling him about Morpheus.network and what they're doing with the supply chain. He said, oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. Yeah. So look, do you want to start? I don't know which one. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll give a super brief sort of introduction to Morpheus.network because I know that yourself, Crypto Rich, and you, Skrill, have had this conversation, but maybe the viewers don't know as much about Morpheus. Sure. So I can be very brief, and then I can find a little bit more about Secret as well, and the rest of the viewers can as well. So, so my background, as Rich you sort of mentioned in passing, there is in supply chain. I've been in supply chain for about 25 years now, which is a little scary to say. But I now have all the experience that I've taken in with these decades and decades of work, putting now into Morpheus.network, which is a supply chain automation platform. Our positioning within supply chain is middleware. To define what middleware is, within supply chain, there are hundreds of different IT systems out there, ERP systems like SAP, Oracle, JD Edwards, Sage, it goes on and on, Microsoft Dynamics, so on and so forth. There's different TMS systems out there, different terminal operating systems, and none of these systems speak to each other. It's all fragmented data, all data silos, with people in between the systems manually typing in numbers to communicate back and forth. Where Morpheus sits, it sits in between these different IT systems, pushing and pulling the data as required, this API hub connecting all these systems together, creating a ton of automation, creating dynamic data in supply chain from stakeholders and IT systems all around the world. So now my former position as a supply chain manager and being that central hub to all this data coming in is now completely automated, creating amazing solutions for our clients. It's now completely validating that something that first started out on a piece of paper with myself and my co-founder Noah Meppel, drawing out what it takes for a supply chain to happen properly and how technology could be used. Now we've built up solutions for enterprise clients, multi-billion-dollar clients, Federated Co-op in Canada, the world's largest private port operator, leverages our platform as well. That's Gulftainer out in Dubai, a complete port operation, automation system, I should say, that we built for them as well. We have a ton of other exciting things going on right now that I can speak about in a little bit, but I don't want to take up too much time. So Skrillah, let me throw it back to you, my friend. If you don't mind, maybe give us a little bit of your background, a little bit of background on Secret as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's lovely to meet you. My background is actually in similar industry to yourself. So I was a food product developer and fitness product developer for many years. particularly involved with the concept phase and the route to market for these products. So my journey into crypto was basically I wanted to automate all of these kind of clunky processes where you've got like different teams all over the world trying to scramble together different documents and compliance stuff and and shipping manifestations, all that kind of stuff. I needed a smart contract, but at the same time, I also didn't want to reveal my supply chain to any of my competitors. I want to keep that information completely secret. I needed a private smart contract, which led me to scrt.network in my research about 3 years ago now, and it's been a wild ride ever since. We've started an organization called Secret Agency that helps to essentially do product development for the Secret Network teams that are building within the ecosystem. So more like kind of software application focused now, and each one of those teams is utilizing Secret Network's fully customizable, privacy preserving smart contracts to tackle some of the use cases that are at the cutting edge of blockchain. So stuff like wills and testaments on chain, stuff like private DeFi, stuff like bringing certifications and university degrees and deeds to properties on chain, all these kind of credit scores, all this kind of stuff that like blockchain really can't touch at the moment because it's been public by default for so long. So yeah, that's kind of where my passion is, and kind of like exploring these new frontiers.
Yeah, and I just want to say a few things about Secret. Is it's part of the Cosmos ecosystem, so it can. And what I like, I don't know how well you know Cosmos ecosystem, Morpheus. Dan,
Common Morpheus.
It's like a galaxy of different blockchains that can communicate with each other. So there's no load on any of them. Transaction times are really, really fast, very, very cheap. And Secret has it's secret. It's not private. So all the transactions, the important transactions, happen inside a box. But it's possible to give the key to that box for auditing purposes. So for tax and regulation, so who needs to see it can access that data, but it's not available for anybody, nor like Monero or Pirate Chain that nobody can see anything.
Fascinating. Listen, you mentioned some great real world use cases for that. I just got off a call actually for this proposal we're doing for Transport Canada right now. It's about, let's say, hazardous waste being transported on trains or in trucks. I'm not going to mention anything specific in the news that would make Transport Canada, start to look for solutions to counteract anything that's happening in that sense. And it's more so if a disaster happens, to have notifications built in for first responders that they know what they're dealing with, what the products are, the commodity, and so on and so forth. Where there's a lot of sensitive data around that as well. They don't want to necessarily, what they paid for, where their suppliers are, and there's monetary reasons for other people to find out that data. So something like that, where certain parts of the information, is left available to the first responders, which is important to know what you're dealing with when you're going to a disaster site. But also then, the sensitive data is left private, left sensitive, right? So secret for certain things. Yeah, that's very, very cool. Lots of applications there.
And also for commercial applications, Skrillah just suggested, and I think it's a good idea, if I just pull up this website, Map of Zones.
Yes. Now, if you want to catch the rest of this interview, then please come over to Odyssey and you can watch it in full there. bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey.